Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the shed. I'm Lonnie.
Hey, y'all. Good morning. I'm Candace.
Well, you changed things up.
I know. It's always weird whenever it comes out of your mouth. You're like, that's not right.
No, it's like we do the same. Like, y'all got to understand. We've probably just since Candace has been aboard, I'm pretty sure we've done 1,000 of these.
Or at least, yeah.
I think. And then me, if you include me, I've done over 2,000 of these.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. It is a lot. There was one year, or no, there might have been a couple of years. I think it was at least for a year solid. I did a video a day. Every single day. And I mean, including
7 days, yeah.
7 days, Saturday and Sunday, for like over a year.
Remember yesterday or the day before we talked about goals and how Lonnie used to work so much? It's true.
Well,
we're not exaggerating.
I used to spend a lot more time on YouTube, though.
Right,
like way more time.
In the early years.
I did. I would do... we did a lot of... Candace would participate in this, too. Did a lot of live streams. And that's on top of uploading 7 days a week.
Right.
So... definitely, like, we still, like, obviously we still do a lot of YouTube, but the amount of time we spend on YouTube is like way lower than it used to be. Man,
that was so fun. Like when we used to do live auctions on this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the early edition of Whatnot, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it sort of was. Yeah. Yeah, Dwayne. If any of y'all, most of y'all probably don't even remember him. But yeah, he would do like an auction show on his
Mothership Products.
He would do an auction, usually just about every weekend. He would do an auction, and then he would let different people come on and sell stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. But I mean, like there was a time when YouTube was like. I was super like obsessed and would just spend tons of time and not only producing YouTube content, but consuming just a ton of reseller content myself.
But back then it wasn't near as saturated. There wasn't a ton out there.
Yeah, it wasn't really it wasn't really sustainable long term. Now, to be honest, I very rarely consume any reseller content at all anymore.
Which is not saying it's a bad thing, but it was good for you when you were growing as a reseller, learning
and as a YouTuber.
Yes, yeah. just learning the business. So not saying that we know everything, but you gained the knowledge you needed from that at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. And then, interests change and whatnot, but we're still here. We're still making videos. I don't know how we got off on this, but
we do have orders to pull this morning.
We have orders to pull, and we have a little situation with eBay. It's not a huge deal. We'll get into that a little more in a little bit, but we're going to give eBay a call later on today and we're going to see what happens with it. I'll explain that.
After we pull orders, we'll set the scene for you.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Everything's on eBay today.
Yep.
First thing is a caliper bracket mounting bolt 2 Bravo number 59. I guess that's a car part.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. You know what I think we're going to do today too? I think kind of a quiet day. I think we're gonna do some Lonnie's losers today.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
59. It's a clear package though. It has a label. It's like a little baggie.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that sold for $7.99.
Okay. Sweet. Sounds good to me. And it was yesterday was kind of a weird sales day. I mean, it ended up being fine. It ended up being pretty, decent sales day. But that was the first sale we made for like over 12 hours. We didn't have a sale, which just happens sometimes. Like that's just the way it goes. But and like I said, it ended up being decent. But finally, I saw the alert you know, the notification that eBay, like I saw my phone light up or something. I'm like, oh, what we sell? And I'm like, oh, $7.99 car part.
Yeah, you know, yesterday late afternoon, eBay was having issues with pictures not loading.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I had trouble, and I know it wasn't isolated to me because when I hopped on List Perfectly this morning, they always do like alerts on their banner if there's something going on, and that was the alert that eBay's having issues with pictures.
I also
loading.
saw someone in the water cooler say they had the same problem.
So I don't know if that was affected our sales or just coincidence. If there was other stuff going on.
Sometimes, yeah, I don't know either. Sometimes it just happens like that.
Yeah. Okay, in the razor drawer, we sold some perfume, Wood by D Squared 2. It has a big red leaf on it.
Okay, yeah, this one.
$29.99. That's a big old bottle for 1.6 ounces. Is that right?
No, yeah, 1.7 U.S. fluid ounces. I'm looking to see. It's made in Italy, but it looks like Canadian packaging.
That's a men's fashion clothing line company. $29.99 for that. One Delta, the oil lamp in the box, new old stock oil lamp.
Okay.
So when I listed that, I actually opened it and examined the contents. You know, we like to do that with stuff that's sealed but not sealed. You know.
Well, not only that, but something this old.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to make sure, like, since it's not ours, we don't know how it was stored and all that. You want to open it up, make sure like there's not, especially like it's not like sealed, like you said.
Right. It was stapled shut, so there was room for little creepy crawlies to get in there.
You want to make sure it's not full of roaches or something, you know?
It has a bottle of liquid. We want to make sure that hadn't either spilled or evaporated or whatever. And also, this is pretty fragile glass. Want to make sure that was not broken.
And everything was perfect.
Everything was perfect. I could have sent it just as is, but I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
$44.99 for that. We sold some women's booties. One Echo. Karen Scott.
Delta Echo.
They're navy blue.
I bet they're here. Step stool out the way. Actually, I listed that huge pack, and I just that huge hunting pack, and I just threw it up there, bagged it, and threw it up in the rafters.
Let me grab one from you.
Is this one? This it?
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
All right, and those sold for $31.49.
We aren't real great at shoe sales, but they've actually become a fairly substantial part.
I don't like go through every shoe at garage sale, but I'll kind of glance if something catches my eye.
Yeah.
I'll pick them up and examine them. Of course, always kind of look at sneakers somewhat, you know.
It's usually really high ROI at garage sales when we find them.
I think those actually came from an estate sale, but it was half off day, so they were like $2 or something.
We pass on most shoes, though, for new sellers out there. Condition is so huge with the shoes. We pass on even like what are good shoes a lot of times just based on condition.
Right.
You know, like that is so huge.
Yep. Okay, the next 3 orders are going to the same person.
Okay.
8 Bravo 10-piece La Cadeau melamine dinner plates, salad plates, and bowls.
Yeah, these are pretty awesome.
Those are the turquoise ones, solid turquoise.
We should have kept these.
I would have if it had been enough. It's not enough. There's 4 plates and 3 of the other 2 things.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with that? We have 5 people.
Yeah.
You know.
These are awesome though because they look like they're not breakable.
I know, and they look like breakable, and they're heavy duty melamine.
They're
cool. Not like the cheap. Yeah. $60 for those.
Yeah.
7 Charlie, we sold a Le Cadeau cake platter.
Yeah, they came back and bought that too. That was awesome. Let's see. Charlie. Here it is. Back here, this one actually still had the label on it and stuff.
Yeah. $29.99 for that.
I bet a lot of people registered for this stuff for like wedding gifts.
Mm-hmm. And then they're going to need to cook some stuff to go on all this. So, Italiana.
There we go. Steadily selling out. Not going to be long, Candace. It'll probably be this year.
I'm saying we have 56 available.
Okay, that's probably about right.
Yep. $29.99 for that.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good little order there. I was happy with that.
Okay, we sold the radiation meter. 9 Charlie.
Yeah, and what I finally came up with is that, okay, like this Fallout Shelter Fallout Shelter sign, I think these radiation meters were actually in Fallout shelters.
Yeah.
And probably never used.
Right.
Where did you say again?
8 Delta.
Delta.
9 Charlie. I'm just kidding. 9 Charlie.
Okay, you must have been looking at the wrong item, huh?
No, I don't know where I got that from.
Here we go. Isn't this cool?
That's cool. I can see that just sitting
I
up
know.
on a shelf with some kitschy items.
I know, it's really neat. Or you could turn it into like
A lunchbox.
a bank.
What
Or
if you brought your lunch to work in this? Like,
is that how people walk to work?
yeah. They get their lunchbox and they walk on it. Oh, the meter just moved. Ooh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
There's no batteries in it. It's just
It was pointing towards you.
yeah, I'm radioactive.
$44.99 for that. 6 Charlie, we sold an Elrich the Dreaming graphic novel. Dreaming City graphic novel.
We just sold one. The video that's going up today. We sold one of these. Would you grab one out of here?
Yeah. I was distracted by this person's first name.
Huh? Let me go look at it. Let me do that. Let's see. What is it? Ah. Whoa.
Oh, no.
Man, what a name.
I mean, sorry, we can't say it.
No, I don't even want to talk about that name. Oh my gosh.
$9.99 for that.
Oh man.
It's obviously not their real name. I'm just gonna put it out there.
You think?
Yeah.
Maybe it could be a foreign thing.
I guess.
I might put it on the screen.
They did spell sack without a C.
I'll put it on the screen. What?
I'll be thinking about that all day.
God.
And the cricker, last item. Cricker drawer. Donna Karen Cashmere Mist Rollerball perfume.
Oh man. This?
Must be, but it looks, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, rollerball.
10 milliliter rollerball.
Okay.
$39.99 for that.
Okay. That's everything?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Easy packing day for you, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty quick. So, yeah, let me get to packing. Okay, everything's packed up and ready for both of the carriers. And we're about to start listing. I got all my video work done, too. We're about to start listing. Well, Candace has already started. But before I start, I'm going to see what happens with something. So, this perfume order was shipped out on the 12th of May of last month. And it was running behind because it was stuck in Baton Rouge.
Right. So I think the buyer was kind of keeping an eye on the tracking, and it hadn't even been a week since we shipped. It was like on the weekend after we shipped, they put in this item not received case because they saw it wasn't moving.
Right.
They saw it got scanned in and then just disappeared after that. So I guess they were trying to be proactive to protect themselves. So they put in the case. It hadn't even been a week since we shipped. So that put us in that limbo where the item was, if it wasn't received, they were going to get the case closed in their favor before we could even file insurance.
Right. So with USPS, you can file with most insured mail. You can file an insurance claim with USPS 15 days after you ship the item. And like Candace said, with eBay, if they open that case up as soon as they can, that case will close before you can even, I think it was set to close like 3 or 4 days before we could even file a claim with USPS.
I think it was about 5 days.
Which puts us in a really bad spot.
Yeah.
Because, and actually this is worst case scenario here.
Mm-hmm.
It actually happened on this particular package, which is why I'm bringing it up. It's not the money. I'm not like poor mouthing. I'm not woe is me. I'm not like like complain or anything. I'm just showing y'all what can happen in some cases. They opened the case, and just before we had, there had to be like some kind of decision on the case, we did call eBay up and say, look, we want to take care of this, and we will, one way or the other, we're going to take care of it. But can you give us a couple more days? Can you extend this case out, this deadline, by a couple more days? Because as you can see, it's going to be in that window where we can be left without product and money. And that's not necessary. And the guy I talked to, he totally understood. He tried to do it, said he couldn't do it. Supposedly went to a supervisor, and they also said they couldn't do it. And then I was like, okay, well.
That's interesting, because we had one last fall where they did extend the case for a week. They gave us a whole another week. Maybe they can only do a courtesy one every so often for you. I don't know, but he couldn't do it on this instance.
Right. So I was like, well, all right. And he said, well, one thing you can, and he did say, if you don't do anything at all, then, the case will just sit there for a few days or whatever. But if the customer calls in to have the case closed, and it's, and there's no tracking or anything like that, the case will be closed in their favor. I said, oh, at that point, that will be like an unresolved case strike against us, right? And he's like, yes. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, we can't afford to do that.
Or we don't want to.
And we won't do that.
Yeah.
Because that's dumb. That's a dumb thing to do with your eBay account. So what ended up happening is we shipped it on the 12th, and it actually got delivered on the 15th day. It started tracking like the next day, I think, or something. Of course, and then it actually got delivered on the 27th, which means we were never able to file a insurance claim, because the person got the thing. We reached out to the customer. Actually, we had another one that was very similar to this.
A day apart.
Mm-hmm. And we reached out to both of them and said, hey, look, do us a favor. We're refunding. We did this after we refunded all their money, made them whole. When you receive the package, please just write return to sender on it and leave it for your carrier. One of the customers did it, and I think we're going to receive it today, right?
It's at our local post office, so it's either coming today or tomorrow. Yep. And
the other one, we haven't heard anything back from. So they have their money back, and they have, I think it's $40 bottle of perfume.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now the guy, when he told me they couldn't extend the deadline any, he did say, hey, if y'all end up losing out on this, call eBay back, and there might be some options to make you whole as well. So I'm about to put in a callback request to eBay, and I'm going to let y'all know what they say, and we'll see what happens. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm not going to get upset either way. Yeah, if they tell me no, then I'll just let y'all know.
We don't have high hopes. Let me put it that way.
I don't have real high hopes.
No.
But if they say no, I'll just let y'all know that. If they say yes, I'll let y'all know that. And it's that simple. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do, especially given the fact that we tried to be proactive and avoid this from happening in the first place by requesting just a few day extension. So let's see what happens here. Okay, I was really, I was loaded for bear, but I'm always like I try and be like, start off eBay calls super nice. And I talked to John on the phone just now. He went on and on thanking it. He said 24 years, we really appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. And like he sounded like, I know he probably wasn't sincere, but it sure sounded sincere.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Like it was like one of the best support calls I've ever had in my life. He let me lay it out. He never interrupted me while I was speaking. And then whenever I handed it over to him, he said, I understand completely. Don't worry, I'm going to take care of it for you. I'm putting it in now. We had a couple more pleasantries back and forth. And I mean, you heard it. It was on speaker. It was amazing.
Pleasant and nice, and didn't have to like beg, or he's like, no, this is how it needs to be done. And he said that if it happens in the future, call back again and they'll take care of it.
Look at that.
So we were just talking, you know, there was so much of this going on during the past holiday season. I bet eBay just finally realized they have to do something because of the way that the system is flawed, how buyers can open cases within an unreasonable amount of time.
And I'm okay with a buyer opening a case. If as a buyer, I would be upset too if it took 15 days for my order to get there. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying a little more time to mesh with, for American sellers, since most of us use USPS.
Right.
There's a lot. Most sellers use USPS only. That's all they use.
Yeah.
Exclusively.
Yep.
So I do think it would be better if eBay would make that mesh with the time frame that you can, where you're not left holding the bag. But hey, I can't complain. Extremely pleasant conversation with John. It took just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And he already, like, the refund's on the way.
I think part of the root of the problem too, getting back to the, you know, the buyers opening cases, and I'm assuming they still do this. I haven't really looked at anything to go buy anything on eBay, how they put these deliver by dates.
Right.
So that opens expectations for the buyer to get stuff by a certain amount of time when it's not eBay's decision. It's not in their hands.
Right.
It's all in the USPS's hands. So how can they make promises that they're not delivering?
Well, they're stuck between trying to compete with Amazon and the real world where things don't move at the speed of Amazon because Amazon owns their own delivery service.
Right.
And, you know, we don't have our own delivery service.
Yeah.
We rely on the third party.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, kudos to eBay. I've had a few good interactions with eBay, and even the last interaction I had with eBay regarding this case, I felt like the person I talked to cared.
Yeah, like they weren't just brushing you off.
They didn't give me what I wanted, but they were respectful, they cared, they tried, they understood, and they did tell me to call back.
Yep.
And when I did, it did get solved. So, two good eBay customer service calls in a row.
Yeah.
Very, very good job, eBay. I'll give credit where credit's due. Mm-hmm. Okay, funny enough, like right after we finished filming that clip, our USPS carrier came to pick up our packages, our outgoing mail, and also left us this little gem, which is another perfume order, the one that did reply, and send it back.
Yep, they put return to sender on there, brought it to their post office, and it came back.
And it never got opened. So
right.
We do appreciate them doing that.
So we can just relist it. It's ready to go. Yeah.
Okay, so good. We don't have to deal with any of that.
Right.
All right, sweet. So we don't have any more outstanding.
No, everything's kosher right now, knock on wood.
And, USPS, those problems have seemingly gone away for now?
I think they are. Just every once in a while something pops up, and it's like we said, it was actually 18 items.
What was it?
Yes, because it was 16 plus these two. I think they all got picked up at our local post office, put in a bin, and they were all labeled hazard, ground only. So I think that bin just got stuck somewhere and kind of pushed to the side. Because it wasn't, like priority, like.
Yeah, because I've been looking at like other stuff we sent out, like because we sent out a pretty good bit of media, even, and you would think the media would be problematic,
right?
And it hasn't been,
right?
Like the media is just flowing right on through, you know, and but yeah, whew. Okay, good deal.
Yep.
That was when that first happened. It was very stressful, not just because of those. But because we were like, okay, is this the new normal where everything we send through USPS is going to be like this? Or is this a one-off, one-day thing? Or what? Because of our experiences with Baton Rouge Hub from a few months back, which was the reason that we started doing UPS.
Yep.
We were really concerned, especially because we had bought so much perfume.
And some of one of the outstanding ones was like $180 bottle. So, and It's too bad, like, because we can't ship those at UPS. They have to go at USPS. Their hands are kind of tied on that, you know.
Right.
So we had a lot of money in those 18 packages that were just sitting somewhere.
Right, and we didn't lose a dime.
No.
Ooh, we got really lucky.
We did.
Okay, coming near the end of the day now, and we're done listing. We're just going to do one more thing after this. Here's our listings today. 652 out of 14 items, and we're steady bringing this average per day number down a little bit, which is exactly what we want to do. So we're down to needing $458 a day now. And yeah, I'm happy enough with those listings, given that we're no longer listing cosmetics, we're no longer listing transformers, we don't have really any super easy stuff
Right.
that's going up. So yeah, I'm very pleased with the work we're doing so far this month. Kind of surprised, really. And the sales have been kind of steady today. We've actually we're off to a really nice sales day. Never know if that's going to continue through the night or not. But typically we'll get like a little nighttime rush of sales, you know.
Yeah, sometimes maybe in the evening when people get home from work or something.
Right.
Yeah.
It's only 4:13 now.
Yep.
I think we're both a little tired. We've been coming out here earlier. Like I've said before, like I think I was out here at 7:30. Candace is a little bit behind me, but I think we're both kind of tired today. At least I am. I'm very tired.
Yeah.
But one thing we are going to do today that we haven't done in a while, and I'm glad we're doing it, which for a reason I'll explain in a minute. Lonnie's Losers. We haven't done that in quite a while.
It's probably been about a month, huh?
It may have been. Yeah, it's been a while. And I don't think we're going to do it every day, but we need to do it every now and then just to get those oldest, stalest listings, kind of churn some of those up.
And it's a way to check our inventory in the store.
Right.
Yep.
That too.
Yeah.
We were doing it every day though. We were really starting to get ahead of where I wanted to be with it. I want to do the old listings, but some of these listings I think we were getting pretty close to like a year or so. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like,
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Like when.
So yeah, the stuff we're going to be looking at today was listed in like March of last year. So I mean, yeah, they're old listings, but they're not like super duper old.
Right.
But we do need to go ahead and at least a couple of days a week again start doing it. So yeah, let's go.
Okay. First item is Pocket 8 Bandai Digimon Devon.
Okay.
Little blue figure with wings.
Yeah, he's in there. And we had a bunch. We bought like, I don't know, it might have been 50 of those things from Guy years ago at this point, probably 3-4 years ago. And they all sold pretty much, which was awesome. We might have just a couple left.
Some stragglers left behind.
Some stragglers.
Yeah.
So I'll drop the price by a couple of bucks, but I'm not going to go too drastic with it. And I will go ahead and sell similar on that one.
Yeah. Yep.
So I might do it for like $15 or something.
Okay. All right. The next thing is a core figure. Man, it seems like I just listed those.
I know.
That's in the guy drawer. This is Alex Rucker. He's got green pants and shirt sleeves, holding the big gun or something.
Okay. Got him.
Yep, he's listed for $7.99. So
what do you want to do?
I guess I'll just say relist at the same price.
Okay.
You know, we're not going to go lower than that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, if it was a big thing or something that we thought would have a low likelihood of selling, and then we would probably donate or something like that. But since it's small, and I think maybe just putting it back up and refreshing it.
Yep.
Might get it to sell.
Maybe so. Yep. All right, we have a Painted Ponies. It's funny, we just sold one.
I know. That's gonna kind of affect the way I look at it.
This is on 4 Bravo.
Okay.
Keeper of the Sacred Fire.
Yeah, I don't want to get too aggressive with that. Yeah, it's right here. Keeper of the Fire.
So it seems to me you've probably sent out at least 10% offers multiple times, right?
Yeah, so
maybe 25%?
Take 25% off the price?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll sell similar at, it'll probably be closer to $70 or $65 or something
Yeah,
like
we
that.
have it listed for 90. So
Okay.
yeah. Yep.
I'll do that.
All right, this next thing is hearing aid batteries that are expired. They expired this year in the bolo drawer.
Okay.
So those have
Wah,
to
wah.
get thrown away.
Yep. They're probably still good, but we're not going to sell them.
Nope.
Oh, man. Okay.
2 packs, yeah.
Got them.
Yep. So we're tossing those.
All right.
And then we have a Big Daddy 10 Alpha. This is a Venom Koto Bokia statue.
Yeah, so
1/6 scale.
it's right there, and I don't have to look hard for that. It's huge, taking
Yeah.
up a lot of room. And I actually looked at whenever I ended, because I already ended them. I actually looked to see what that sold for recently. Somebody sold one back in April. It's currently June. Somebody sold one back in April for $279, and they didn't have any issues with it. They had the original box and everything. So yeah, we need to slash.
Maybe down to 250, or I don't know if ours has issues or not.
It doesn't.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with it. But
So
yeah, I mean, we have it
250.
priced at $450. Yeah, I'm gonna put it at $250.
It's had 36 views in the last month and 14 watchers. So
I'm gonna slash it.
yeah.
I'm gonna sell similar for $250.
Yep.
It's time to move on. That was from another guy buy, and we have the margin there. We can afford to take that hit on what we thought it would sell for. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yep.
At this point, because probably all the other stuff from that buy is probably long gone and sold.
Yep.
And so at some point we need to just go ahead and sell it and move on with our life and with our inventory. So,
And I wouldn't mind a little $250 in my pocket.
exactly. Exactly. And we'll probably still turn a nice little profit on that piece, even at that,
Yeah.
if we're lucky enough to sell it for that.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out real quick. Candace will do all the back end work
Yep.
in the morning for that. Like, she has to come in and she'll go into List Perfectly and take it off of other platforms and all that kind of stuff. But I do the eBay side.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sit down and do that, and then we're gonna get out of here. That is gonna be it for this one. Thanks a bunch for watching, and we'll see y'all again very soon. Bye, y'all.
Bye.